Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Now we have another topic of like the survey that we did. So we have discussed anger, we've discussed screen time limits. Now we have sibling and homework are kind of, in sync. They're in parallel. They are at par. They are a tie. So which one would you like to pick? Would you like to pick siblings or
We'll take siblings first.
okay, let's. So sibling disputes, I think people who have two children are,
Hmm.
saying that, they end up fighting or not uh,
Right.
playing together and blah, 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 all that. I mean, I also, in fact, got a parent a few days back or maybe a week, 10 days that, one of them starts hitting the other one. So,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
when
Okay.
he's not
Yeah.
able to, so of course, that's the anger piece, which is a different piece altogether. But
Right.
we also have to address the sibling piece, to be able to
Right.
nip it in the bud. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
So,
what do
see,
we do?
now why this happens is because when a child is born, when a human being comes into this world, they are helpless people, actually. And
Right.
whom do they take support from? They're taking support from their parents.
Hmm.
Okay. So, now there is another child which has come, the
Hmm.
second one.
Hmm.
Okay. Now there is competition.
Hmm.
We all need to survive. Something which is instinctively there within us is the survival instinct. So the child is not really thinking, but the child is only competing for survival. Okay. So what happens is when the second child comes in, for the first child, it's more of a competition that is there. And for the second child also, when the second child is seeing another child there
Hmm.
competing for the parental love, the
Hmm.
child feels that I need to do something to survive here. So that is automatically unconsciously there in the children
So the child
where
starts
they are
acting
fighting
up.
for survival.
Okay.
Yeah. So they themselves are not aware about it, but somewhere instinctively there is a fight for survival. And that is what is creating all that. As I mentioned, the tip of the iceberg, this
Yeah.
survival instinct is there underneath, which you can't see, which
Because
is there in
yeah.
all of us. And
Right.
the tip of the iceberg is the fight that you see.
Hmm.
So you always see these siblings competing with each other for the parental love and attention because they want to survive, they want to feel safe in this environment because they consider themselves as dependent, helpless human beings. So,
Correct.
whatever you see the sibling rivalry coming in and the competition part and the fights which is coming now, the one which you mentioned, one child hitting the other is a behavior of something underneath that,
Mm.
I want
Correct.
to show that I am the stronger one.
I'm
How
the,
else
yeah.
am I going to survive in this world? That
Right.
kind of thing is that way. So that's why siblings plus another thing that happens, I'll tell you, this is again very common thing. Recently also I got to know about one parent where the child she delivered a newborn baby now, but she has a 3-year-old child. Okay, so now suddenly the expectation from the 3-year-old is so much
To
that
be a grown up, So yeah.
yeah, you have become an elder sister now. You have to do, you should be able to take care of yourself because there is a younger child. Now, if you like look at the 3-year-old child, that child is a toddler. She is also a baby.
Mm.
And now she is make, trying to understand what is her place in the family dynamic. Like suddenly, all the attention has gone away.
Mm.
Suddenly, I have to take care of myself on my own. So see the
Correct.
expectation we put with the elder child.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Now
because,
what happens?
she's older. I mean, not
She's
understanding that it's just a 3-year-old child.
She is older to the newborn, but she's
Correct.
still a baby. Okay.
Correct. Correct.
Now, from 5 years from now, what happens? This 3-year-old has become 8-year-old. This newborn is 5-year-old. Still, that newborn, the younger one, is considered the younger one. Even at the age
Correct.
of 5, is still
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
considered a baby, and she has to
Mm.
grow up. This is a common scenario we
Yeah.
see wherever there are two children there.
Yeah.
So now, what is happening is the elder one is observing all these things, and it sort of feels like a partiality thing happening. So
Correct.
obviously, when you see, the elder one is bullying the younger one, and all this love will be there. But
Correct.
see,
Correct.
naturally, we are having
The
the survival
behavior,
instinct
what you see
making
on
us
the
do that.
outside is a little bit maybe hostile. At least that's what
Yeah,
you
yeah,
see. Okay.
yeah.
So what do
So
you
parents are
suggest, what do you think parents should do?
So parents, first of all, the expectation when the second baby comes in, The expectation that you have with the elder one has to be age appropriate. Prepare the child for the coming of the second one.
Mm-hmm.
And once the child comes in, you see everybody, as I say, what is the base, what is the belief we have, the instinctively what we have? We want to survive. We want that attention. So you be aware that are you giving that attention to the elder one? Because when
Mm-hmm.
that need is satisfied, I always keep that iceberg in front of me. So if
Mm-hmm.
that need is satisfied, the behavior would be according to how you want. Okay, so
Correct.
the need of attention. And also now, if you already have two children who are, who are 6 and 8, now you cannot really go back. That's okay. So what you do here is when there is conflict, you don't jump in to
Mm.
to become a referee and clear out the conflict. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't punish one child in front of the other.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you speak to understand. Speak to understand. What happened? Would you like to tell me? First, okay, you tell me, then you tell me, and then
Mm.
speak to them separately. Because what
Mm-hmm.
happens if the mother has shouted the younger one or the elder one? The next time, what happens when these two are alone? See, I'm going to tell mama, last time how she was shouting at you.
Shouting at
That
you.
will
Yeah.
happen.
They pick
Yeah.
up
So
on
you're
this,
saving.
I mean, very
Yeah.
early. Yeah.
Yeah. So they shouldn't ever get a feeling that mama or dada is siding with one particular child.
One child. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So don't become a referee in sibling fights. Speak to them separately. First, again, go into that. You be calm, become curious of what happened, and then teach them of, okay, this is a problem that happened. Then how do you solve it the next time? That way you can teach them problem solving and conflict management.
Oh, great. Okay. So I think, I mean, from what I have also, to add to what you're saying, what I've also read is that most often than not, sibling disputes are not about sibling disputes. They're not about each other. They are about the mother or the father. It's about because they are in whichever form they're acting up, they actually want the attention of the parent on me. So that's where, the
Yeah.
3 year old will start acting up because all the attention is on the 6 month old. So, and
Mm.
it seems like, he or she doesn't like the 6 month old baby. But actually, what she's saying is, or he's saying is that, can you still look at me? You know,
Yeah.
so because I'm also around, can you focus at me?
Mm.
What happens is that, and this is something huge, I've, said it in a lot of my other videos also, be mindful of what you're speaking about your children uh, to other parents, whether your child is around or not,
Mm.
because it impacts how you respond to your children, because that's what your thought
Yeah.
process is, that's what your belief is, that
Right.
this one is always this one's always acting up. So next time when he or she acts up, you're not going to be curious. You will
Yeah.
reprimand, because you've said,
Yes.
this one's always acting up, he's never letting me do my work. So therefore it's not coming from a place of empathy versus a belief
Mm.
of judgment and labeling.
Yes, labeling.
So we are saying, to wrap up this piece, we are saying, don't jump in, don't be a referee, don't punish, especially in front of the other child, and be curious, and then teach them how to solve the problem, so that they can, when they grow up, they can take over that job themselves.
Right.
Great. Okay.